Hey there, everyone. It's Kelly from Pinning Partners. I'm here today to do another webinar walkthrough of another Pinterest scheduler for y'all. The second scheduler that I'm going to talk about today is Boardbooster. And I like Boardbooster because it's automatic. It's like I call it the set it and forget it scheduler. You can set things up and let them roll. So that's what I'm going to walk through today. Just another disclosure. I have a baby. He's actually sleeping right down here, and I have 4 dogs, so noise is just a constant in my house, even in my office with the doors shut. So just so everybody knows. All right, I'm going to do a screen share real quick, and then we'll get started with Boardbooster. Okay, again, I'm just going to assume that everybody knows how to sign up for Boardbooster. It's just a simple walkthrough. I also have an affiliate link that I can provide for you to get a month of Boardbooster free. So this is the front page on when you come after you've signed up for Boardbooster, and I'm going to go over a couple of things under pinning tools, maintenance tools, reports, and account over here. So the first thing you're going to want to do after you have everything set up is to verify your Pinterest account. And that's real easy. Just make sure you're signed into Pinterest, and they'll automatically verify that that's your account so that they can pin over to your account. So on pinning tools, there's 3 different things. We have campaign, scheduler, and looping. And I'll start with campaigns. And the Boardbooster wording's a little bit, it's not user-friendly, the wording on what each different pinning tool is. So I'll try to put it in easier terms and how I understand it. So you're going to want to create a new campaign. I have a couple of campaigns running. I have a couple of campaigns paused. But I'll go ahead and I'll create a totally new campaign so you can get the idea of how to do it. So we're going to have 2 options. You're going to have a random campaign, or you're going to have a scheduled campaign. So what your random campaign does, and if you can see over here in the background, I have one over here going for this new recipe post. What your random campaign does is you have a secret board, and it'll actually create the secret board for you. You'll have a secret board, and you put pins into that secret board. Once you add a pin to the board, it will pull a pin and put it in selected boards that you have said you want it to go to. So I have a recipe, I have a bread recipe come out, and I'll make sure that it goes to, my best group boards, and I'll make sure it goes to my bread board, but it's all spread out. This is what a scheduled campaign is, guys. Sorry. This is what a scheduled campaign is, not a random campaign. But it's all your pins will all be spread out, and it'll start scheduling them as needed. So a random campaign, I apologize, I got a little ahead of myself. A random campaign is where it will randomly pull pins from a source. It can either be the pin source or it can be a board source, and it'll randomly pin them on the boards that you select. So a scheduled campaign is you put the pins in the board and you pick the boards, and it goes to those boards automatically. Random is it just picks pins, and it also picks times, and everything goes based on what they think. So let me show you the difference. Here's a random. Okay, so you're going to have to give it a name here. And then you can actually pick if you want to do pins or if you want to do boards. So let's just say test. Oh. Okay, so if you want to do a list of boards, you can add a board, any one of your boards, and you can even pull from group boards that you are a owner of. You can't pull from group boards that you do not own. Okay, so these, you just pick, let's see, what board should I do? We'll do this one. I'll hit submit. So I have easy natural living ideas. That's the board that it's going to randomly pull from. I keep hitting the wrong scroll. Okay, and then you're going to add it to whatever boards you want it to go to. You're going to have a frequency of the pinning. How many pins per day do they randomly pull from that board to these boards? And I like to set it for 1 because you can pick more than one board that you want these to go to. Let's see, we'll have it go here. We'll go here. So you can pick more than one board that you want these to go to. So set it for 1 pin per day, and then you can let it run. Let's see, we'll have it go here to this group board. Okay, so you hit submit, and then all your boards that you're going to pin to come over here. And you see how it set it to 1 pin per day? If I had left it at 3, it would put 3 pins at this board, 3 pins at this board per day. And that's just a little too much in my opinion, especially if some group boards have a maximum amount of pins that they want you to pin. So I start with 1. Sometimes I'll do 2 if the description says you can pin so many per day. So then you change down here your pin time, because again, it's going to be random. So I always just set it, you know, for midnight to 11, because pins can go out at any time. And then you can even have it pause. Like I said, I have these paused over here or working. So I click save. And then there it is. It's down here. So if I want to take this board and instead of having a list of boards, I want to do a list of pins, all you do is grab those pins that you want and you copy and paste them right here. I believe that's what I have for, I think this is what I have for my drinks board. Yep. See, it's just a list of pins instead of the board. And then they also have this cool feature that shows you the thumbnail. So these are all the drinks recipes that I have that are being scheduled using pins. Now you see the boards I have them scheduled to. Oh, actually, let's start that up again since I'm here. Okay, so now that is a random campaign. Let me show you what a scheduled campaign is. All right, we'll do test 2. All right, you're going to pick how many pins you want to go out. We'll just say 1. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay, so I need to find, I have a secret board. Oh no, this is the board that I'm going to have them pin to. So this is the board that I'm going to have pinned to. So let's just do this. And then I want this one to pin on day 1. And it'll pin at 5. Okay, great. So let's add another repin. So you can, what this does is you get to pick, oops, day 2. We can have it pinned to this board at 5 again. So this is how you're scheduling them out. You get to pick the time, you get to pick the board, and you get to pick the pins. So what's going to happen is they're going to create a secret board called test 2. And I'm going to have to take my pins and put it in the test 2 board for this campaign to start working. So I could save that, but I'm going to come over here to this one, this new recipe post. And you see how I have it set up over here. So what it does is whenever I have a new recipe, I take it and I pin it to the secret board called new recipe post. And it's going to show up on my Pinterest as a secret board so nobody can see it, and it'll pull from there. On day 1, it's going to go to best comfort foods. On day 2, it's going to go to best food recipes. On day 3, and it's going to be the same pin. So it's going to keep pulling that pin, and it's going to keep pulling it to your group boards and repinning it, so that will help with repins, and it will help with the algorithm so that these will be more visible and people will see them more. So that's a scheduled campaign. You can see the difference. You get to pick the time, you get to pick the exact board, and it's like a pin just kind of runs through. It kind of starts at, I see it as like a looping around, it goes up to day one and then it goes to a different board on day two, and it helps it. And again, it's the random campaign's easier because once you set that and forget it. This one, you have to remember to put your pins into the secret board for them to be able to start their schedule. But again, it's easy if you can, you just put one pin in and it'll run through the sequence. So as you can see, I've done it 5 pins and I have no more repins. I have posts that I could put in there and I just haven't. Okay, so over here you have scheduler. And let's see, we can read through here. It says click add board below and select one of your boards. Specify how many pins should be published per day and during what time. Scheduler will create a secret board that serves as a queue for pins for this board. That's it. All right. All right, so let's do my easy coffee recipes. Okay, and we want to pin it, just kind of spread the times out. And we're just waiting. Okay, and I had a little man wake up. Normally it doesn't take this long. Hope it's not my internet. But of course, if it is, it is. Huh. Yeah, I've never had it take this long. So that's interesting. Let's see if I can come over here and we'll stop screen sharing for a minute while that's doing its thing, because there's no point in watching that. That's not entertaining. Okay, so I guess we'll just wait a second. Like I said, I have a little man up. He just takes cat naps, like 20-minute cat naps. So getting work done is always interesting. Let's see if it's done spinning. Okay, oh, I guess I can screen share again. Screen share. No. Mm-hmm. All right. So it says, congratulations, Kelly. You've enabled pin scheduling for your board easy coffee recipes. We've already added an empty secret board. So this is on my Pinterest account. I already have an empty secret board. Any pins that you add to this board will automatically be published to Easy Coffee recipes according to your settings. So those settings I had, all right, got it. So the settings that I had were 3 per day, and let's see. So it's basically like a combination of random and scheduled, because it's going to pull recipe, or it's going to pull pins that I put in the secret board, and then it'll pull them randomly, and I'll do 3 pins per day. But it should continue to rotate instead of like the scheduler where once it's done, it's done. So it's a little bit different. I tend not to use scheduler as much. I like the set it and forget it tools on Boardbooster a little bit more, which means the random campaign and then this looping. So I tend not to do scheduler or scheduled because it's a little bit more work than what I want this application to do. This application, to me, I want it to be able to run on its own. I want it to do things without me having to put pins and boards, because I already use Tailwind and I have to schedule Tailwind. So this is like my backup scheduler. Okay, so looping. I have 2 looping campaigns, and I'll add a new one. All right, so we're going to add a new, let's see, where's my natural? It's not showing. Okay, we'll do easy taco recipes. And this is just going to take pins. I always do multiple pins. It's going to take pins that you already have on your board, and it's going to loop them through. I always do tall. It asks over here. Okay, let me start over. So we have our time. You do your time. You pick your time. Like I said, I always try to schedule as in a big time frame. You never know when people are going to want these pins. You can pick what day you want to pin, and then you can pick your method. So if you want to start pulling the oldest to newest, you can do that. If you want newest to oldest or random. I always pick random just because that's what I do. Do whatever you feel works best for you. And then the aspect ratio filter. I want tall pins. I do not want the square pins to be pulling, because Pinterest prefers tall pins now. Okay, and then we have over here pin owner filter, use only my pins. So that's going to pull pins from that board, is what that's saying. Automatic deduplication is enabled. And what that does is that it saves your pins that are viral, I believe. Let's see. Whenever looping repeats, you end up with 2 copies of the same pin in the pin board. Yeah. So it's going to create 2 different pins. It's going to create a new pin on your board, and it's going to keep the pin that's doing better. It says delete the pin that has the lowest number of repins. So if your original pin has more comments or more repins, it's going to keep that. If the new pin has more comments, likes, tried it, or any of that, than the original, then it's going to delete the original, and it's going to keep that one in there. So you're not going to have double pins in your board. If you don't want to do that, if you just say it doesn't matter, just keep both pins, hit disabled, and you don't have to worry about that. And then if you do want to have that, then you can, it'll every 5 days, it'll check your board and find the one that has the least. If you want to protect virals, or if you want to protect the ones with comments, you can do that. So there we go. It's going to loop 3 pins for me a day on random times. Okay, like over here, I have this, my easy dinner recipes. You can see just how I have that one set up. So similar to the other one. All right. So we have some maintenance tools over here. We have a pin mover. So this is a service that you have to pay for. So it's an upgraded service, and you can help clean up or split your large boards. So this is awesome if you have a board and you want to rename it into something else or have an offshoot of it, then you can move the pins and they will do it for you. It says the first order is free, and then after that it's a penny per board, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, if you have thousands of pins in a board, it could add up. So just see if this is something that you want to do. I've never done it. I mean, I may if no, I know the first order is free, but I don't know. I'll see. I'll get back to you on that one. All right, Pin Doctor. It'll test out your boards. Yep, so it's another service. And it would cost me $112. It'll identify 9 common problems with broken links and content duplication and help fix them. A penny per pin. Again, see, so if I did this, it would cost me 1 penny per pin, which is $112. Which, again, if you don't have many pins and it's something that you want to do to find out if your account is, I guess, healthy is what the Pin Doctor is for, then go ahead and do it. I've never done it, but if you end up doing it, let me know and we can talk about it. Okay, so Group Manager. You can do, if you have group boards that you want to monitor, then you can add them here. Let's see, I have a couple of group boards. Yeah, this is the one. So I have one group board. Okay, so now I have to wait 24 hours. And it'll tell me, I guess, more information on it. So if you are a owner of multiple group boards, this might help you to find out, who's pinning a lot. If, you have a set of rules that you can only pin 3 times a day and somebody's pinning 10, it'll help you identify that. And it'll help you see if people are pinning the content that you want on your board and, the number of repins to see if your board's even healthy enough or if it's something that you want to keep going. So if you have group boards that you want to monitor, go ahead and use this Group Board Manager. Okay, so here are a couple of reports. We've gone over pinning tools and maintenance tools, so we're coming over here to pinning history. This is just going to show the pins that Boardbooster has sent over to Tailwind for me. So let's see, starting at 8. These are the pins that they've had sent over for me. And you can see here the number of repins and the number of likes that I've had on them. And then this would be a good way too. Can I sort by repins? Yep. This is a great way too to find pins that are getting a lot of repins, and then you just keep repinning your best pins because you're trying to gain traction on what you already have. So right here I have this, my arroz con leche is one of my most popular posts, and I could repin this specific pin because it already has good engagement on it. It's got 46 repins and 7 likes, which is really good. Okay, oops, wrong one. Board performance. This helps you analyze your group boards and your personal boards. I actually use this for new clients to go through and find their best performing boards and their least performing boards. I use this along with Pinterest Analytics and Tailwind, and I put together a report of group boards that I think are functioning great, and then I have a list that should probably leave. So you can see what my best boards are over here. All right, followers, how many pins I put on the board per month, my repin rate, my duplicate pins, and then the monthly trends. Let's view those. Yep, this is typical right here, this downward slope. I don't let it scare you at all. February, March are notorious for being low Pinterest months. It's just, you know, the holiday season's over, people are taking a break, spring break, you know, they're back in the gear of school, spring sports are starting. So it's a busier time. People are not on Pinterest as much. It will start to go up. But as soon as you see, you know, like as these graphs, they don't show the full picture. So you need to know trends as well. But these will show that the best food recipes board, the pins, the followers, and all that other information. All right. Viral third-party pins. These are my pins that somebody else has repinned that have gotten between 50 and 3,406 repins. That's a real specific number. So these are the pinners that pin them for me. And then these, of course, are the posts over here. So my friend Camille over here repinned one of my copycat recipes, and it went viral according to them. Let's see what it comes up as. I'm going to see how many repins this one actually has. Oh, over 2,000 repins. Awesome. And Camille pinned it for me to easy drink recipes. So this is a good way to find your viral pins. And again, once you find out what these are, I would go ahead and repin these to different boards to keep up the traction on them. Top group boards. If you want to find group boards to join, then you can come over here and they will help you find a group board. So let's see, let's go to DIY and crafts. So the thing with these are, this is, you have to go to the board itself to find out if they're accepting contributors, if it's a board that you might want to join. This is just a general idea. It's a decent way to find group boards, but you still have to do a little bit of work. It's not going to be, you know, you can't click join right through Boardbooster. See, this board is not accepting additional contributors at this time. So you can go through these boards. You may find some good ones that you are able to join, but just know that not all of them are always accepting contributors. Okay, best time to pin. And I know I have a chatty assistant over here. So this may be different for everybody, but go ahead and take a look at what your best time to pin is. And you see over here, let's see, 7:30 to 8:30, 9:30, 8:30 to 9:30. So it does make a difference that you set your time schedule for longer than what Boardbooster actually suggests, because I mean, I would be missing all these pins between midnight and 1:30 over here if I didn't do that. So find out what's best for you. Like I said, mine's over here at 8:30 to 9:30 p.m., 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Okay, last one. This is another one of my favorites, is follower growth. Pinterest, one of the stats they don't provide is how many followers that you increase, which you would think they would do that, but you have to just kind of watch it on your own. Tailwind and Boardbooster show follower growth. So you can see what it is, and you can click on each little dot, and it'll show you how many you had. Is it a day-to-day? It's a couple days in between that it reports. And then you have another graph down here, and this will show you daily. Yep. Some days are better than others. And then you have days where you gain one, but it's okay because, you know, that one person hopefully really enjoys your account. Okay, so you have account settings over here. You can change things on your account. If you want to get their weekly metrics, you can have them sent to them. I don't need to because I stay pretty much on top of my account, but if you want, how many pins you've sent out, how many repins, stuff like that, you can have that sent, or they're daily if you want to do daily. There's other things that you can go ahead and take a look at. I think they're pretty self-explanatory. Down here is a referral link. I'm going to take this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it into the comments in a little bit. I will get a $5 credit, and then you get a free month if you have not signed up for Boardbooster. And that's what their referral program is. And payment settings too. The cool thing about Boardbooster is that if you want to immediately increase your pins, because they go by, let me just click over here. The way that they charge is they charge by pins per month. So 1,000 pins per month is $10. If you want to do 500 pins per month, it's $5. So I mean, that's not a bad investment if you're going to have it automatic. Like I said, the set it and forget it too, the looping and the random are absolutely perfect for that. So you can immediately, if I'd say, okay, 1,000 is way too much for me, I can immediately downgrade, and they'll start that now, and they'll refund me the difference because I've already paid the $10. If I want to immediately upgrade, I can do that right here. I don't have the top 10 MIDI. I don't have to do anything except that. So it's really neat that you have this option. But I mean, for $5, it's a small investment to pay to start being more active on Pinterest. And then they have help. I don't think I've ever used the Boardbooster help. I've just kind of figured it out on my own. So I'm gonna stop screen sharing, and you're gonna, let me see, hold on, let me put him down. There you go. Okay, the baby's down. Let's come here. Okay, so I'm going to leave this affiliate link to Boardbooster in the comments. And if you are interested in signing up, please go ahead, at least try it for that free month, because it's free. And I believe for the free month, don't quote me on this, guys, I believe the free month is unlimited pins. It might be. I'll have to look into it. But if it is, it's definitely worth trying. So I hope that this walkthrough helped you a little bit. Like I said, the two that I mainly use are the set it and forget it ones, because I already scheduled through Tailwind. But the looping and the random are definitely worth the money I pay every month. I have pins going out. I don't have to worry about it. And it's a great tool. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, or you can always email me at kelly@pinningpartners.com, KELLEY@pinningpartners.com. And I hope it's helped. And I will be back again next week with another walkthrough of another Pinterest schedule. Bye-bye, guys.